Not sure what to tell you. Definitely not. After this horror show, I'm actually glad that it's over. What did I overall think of the pay-per-view? Well, you will hear that at the end. The Sasha Banks match really got under my skin. Well, the ending did, not the match. The match was great, but the ending got under my skin. We'll talk. We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about everything when we get to it. So let's roll credits and start talking about Extreme Rules, the horror show. The pre-show match was Kevin Owens versus Buddy Murphy. Sadly, this was a good match, but the saddest thing is that Buddy Murphy keeps losing. He's such an underrated talent that knows what he's doing in the ring, but the WWE just treats him as a joke. WWE treats Buddy Murphy as a joke. It doesn't matter if it's Paul Heyman, it doesn't matter if it's Bruce Pritchard, it doesn't matter who's in charge. As long as Vince McMahon has final say, Buddy Murphy will not be winning any matches anytime soon. He just seems to be that whipping boy that always seems to lose. He seems to be the Monday Night Messiah, guy that always eats the pin. Which is a darn shame. We know he can put on great matches, but he's always there to lose. Kevin Owens would get the win with the stunner, and that's about it. And we start off at the main show. We had Cesaro and Nakamura challenge for the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the New Day. And I love when Big E just throws his jacket at Corey Graves. It's just so funny. I just love it. It's just so damn funny. Always was so funny. We have Cesaro and Nakamura walking away with the tag team titles. Great, awesome. Exactly what I wanted. But the problem I have here is that Cesaro is now a 7-time tag team champion. Well, that's not really a problem. Well, it can be, depending on how you feel. But Cesaro is so underrated. Like, I wish he got more of a fair singles push. I would love to see Nakamura. I would love to see, Nakamura too. I would love to see Cesaro, become Intercontinental Champion. Hell, I would rather both guys becoming world champions. Cesaro is so good. He's just so underrated. He had a United States title run that not many people may remember, but I certainly remember it. It was very long. It was actually a lengthy run. But Cesaro is now a 7-time tag team champion. He won the tag team titles once with Tyson Kidd. He won the Raw tag team titles 4 times with Sheamus, the Raw ones. That makes him 5 times. And he's won the SmackDown tag team titles twice. One with Sheamus and once with Nakamura. So that makes him a 7-time tag team champion overall. I would love to see Cesaro get more than just, tag team titles. It's a real shame. It's a real shame, really. Same thing with Nakamura. I hope both guys eventually become world champions. That's really all I hope. Because I want to see more from these two. I know these two are capable of being world champions. But Nakamura, I've got to give WWE credit. They've given Nakamura a lot of success. He's a 2-time NXT champion, former United States champion 2 times, former Intercontinental champion, and now tag team champion. Awesome. Awesome. Great to see. Great to see that Nakamura is getting some good success. And apparently he's undefeated at Extreme Rules. He's 3-0. He won the United States Championship against Jeff Hardy. He beat Finn Balor at Extreme Rules last year. Now this year he's tag team champion. Hopefully next year in 2021 he is challenging for the Universal Championship and he wins the title. Extreme Rules, next year he should be challenging for the Universal Championship and he wins. Since Extreme Rules seems to be his event. I'm happy for Cesaro and Nakamura that the tag team champions. I really hope they get a fair and lengthy run. But knowing WWE, they'll probably want to give the belts back to the New Day very, very quickly. Because the New Day and the Usos are basically the tag team versions of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Always in the title picture, always competing for the belts, always holding them. You know? That's what they are. We had Bayley defend the SmackDown Women's Championship against Nikki Cross. I mean, people said this was Nikki Cross's best match. Well, look who she's in the ring with. Look who she's in the ring with. You'll get your answer. She's in the ring with Bayley, one of the best wrestlers on WWE's roster. That's why she had her best match on the main roster. The match ends with Bayley using one of Sasha Banks' rings that she would put on her hands. You know, when she does the whole, when she does that and you see the legit boss rings. So Sasha gives Bayley one of her legit boss rings. That's actually the first time I've ever seen that done. And Sasha and Bayley uses that to her advantage, and beats Nikki Cross to retain the title, as she should. No reason for Bayley to be losing her title to Nikki Cross. And we had Apollo Crews versus MVP. This match didn't even happen because Apollo Crews wasn't there. I don't know what's wrong with Apollo Crews. I hope he's okay. I hope he hasn't got COVID, because it would really suck if he did. And now MVP believes he's the United States champion because Apollo didn't show up. I guess they're probably going to do a champion versus champion winner takes all at SummerSlam. It's probably my guess. They're probably going to have both the United States championships on the line and it's winner takes all. That's probably what they're going to do, really. Because everything needs to end with a winner takes all. Apparently. Then we had possibly one of the most gross matches we have ever watched in the history of WWE. Now, I'm not saying gross in the way. Now, it's definitely not the way we think. There are definitely more sickening matches we've seen. Not that kind of gross, but gross in a bad way. Where it was so weird and disgusting, I don't know how to put words to it. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio in an eye for an eye match. And apparently the only way to win is to gouge your opponent's eye out. That is just sick. That is just sick. Legitimately losing one of your eyeballs. That is legitimately sick. Throughout this match, you see Seth and Rey coming up with, well, I wouldn't call it creative, crazy and disturbing ways to pull out another person's eye. And my blood was very shivery and cold while watching this. You know that feeling, when you're watching something and your blood just kind of shrieks and your skin, inside your skin and your body just shrieks up and your blood coils up. That was my feeling. That's how I was feeling throughout this match. Wasn't a good feeling. Rey Mysterio would end up losing, as I predicted. Seth Rollins would win the eye for an eye match, and the most disturbing, most disgusting thing I've ever seen is Rey Mysterio's eye is legitimately out. He's got no eye. He lost one of his eyes. One of his eyes literally came out of his head. And I'm not going to show a photo of it. It's definitely somewhere. But there was a photo and they showed a photo of Rey Mysterio's eye on his head. Like, you'd see Rey back like this, he'd have his hand over his face like this, and you'd see the eye somewhere across his head up here, just, and it looked gross. It looked really disgusting, and me describing it is just even more disgusting. It was disgusting. It was legitimately one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen, and it was so disgusting, I turned away. I didn't want to look at it. I legitimately turned away. I didn't even want to look at it. It was so disgusting. Seth Rollins even vomited. He backed away from Rey, and he vomited. By the sheer sight of what Rey Mysterio looks like without an eye. And it's just disgusting. And it makes me really, really sick to think about it, to be fair. One of the most grossest matches I've ever seen. Can't tell you guys I liked it. It was just disgusting. They were coming up with ways to poke each other's eyes out. Seth would, like, he'd have one of those, he'd have something in his hand. Rey would try to poke a stick. Seth would even use a sharp edge of the chairs. They would come up with ways to pull each other's eyes out, and it was just sickening to watch. So Seth Rollins wins, as I predicted. But the one thing that I thought they could have done, which is what I was thinking they were going to do, I was thinking, why not have Dominic Mysterio sacrifice himself? Why not have Dominic sacrifice himself for the sake of his father? I was thinking they could have had Dominic come out and pledge his allegiance to Seth Rollins. Said, look, I'll join you. Spare my father. Spare my father. I'll join you. I'll listen to whatever you say. I thought that would have been more interesting than seeing, Rey lose an eye. Because it was definitely disgusting. And the fact that they did do this clearly tells me that Rey Mysterio isn't re-signing with the company. And I guess WWE wanted to come up with a way to write him off TV. So Rey Mysterio is probably done with WWE. Just gross. It was just so damn gross. Then we had Sasha Banks challenging for the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. Brilliant match. The match was brilliant. It was incredible. It was a great match. But unfortunately, the ending kind of ruined it. Well, I wouldn't say kind of ruined it. It did ruin it. This match, this ending, if we had a legit audience in the crowd for this ending, we would have gotten the Seth Rollins Fiend treatment with this ending. I'm telling you, the fans would have been enjoying this match so much, and seeing the match end the way it did, I know for a fact the fans would have been chanting AE-Dub, 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 and CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk at the end of this match. No way you can convince me they wouldn't. I know what this fan base is like. This ending was stupid. This ending was stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if anybody likes it. And listen, I've said many times, I love Sasha, I love Bayley, I love Asuka, I love Kairi, I love all four of these women. And the thing that I think there are some people that need to understand, just because you are a fan of somebody doesn't mean you have to instantly like it. I didn't like this ending. This ending was so damn stupid that I'm pretty sure they're going to fix it on Raw. But all I'm saying is, this ending was just so damn ridiculous. Asuka spits her green mist. She was aiming for Sasha. Sasha ducks out of the way and hits the referee. So the referee's blind. He can't see anything. Bayley comes into the ring, flattens Asuka with one of her belts because she's got too many. She's got too many. We don't even know what one she would have used. She throws Sasha onto the cover. Sasha's knocked out. And because the referee was knocked out, Bayley grabs the referee. She pulls off. Bayley pulls off the referee's shirt. She puts it on. She puts on the referee's shirt. And she legitimately counts the 3 for Sasha. Everyone's confused. Bayley tells the timekeeper to ring the bell. And Bayley just gives the Raw Women's Championship to Sasha. As if she won it. But the thing is, the announcer never said, here is your winner and new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. So clearly Sasha Banks is not the champion. And this is the thing that I don't like. Why do something like this? Why are you having the heels? I know they're heels and that's what they're supposed to do. But the thing is, you're having Bayley do absolutely everything in her power. You got Bayley running around just doing whatever the hell she wants. What's next? Is Bayley going to pull out a fake license? Is she going to pull out a fake referee license and try to claim that she has the rights to be a referee? This is ridiculous. You can't have Bayley doing shit like this. This is what I'm saying. People would, if we had a legitimate crowd, people would be pissed at this. Because everyone was enjoying this match. Everyone was enjoying this match. And you want to end the match in a shitty faction like this? Sasha Banks shouldn't even be Raw Women's Champion. She shouldn't have even won the match. Technically, she didn't win the match. But Bayley, Bayley's throwing her weight around. She thinks, oh, because now I'm the referee, Sasha wins. I guarantee you on Raw, they're most likely going to reverse the decision. They're going to reverse the decision and they're going to force Sasha to give up the belt. They're going to do something that's going to make Bayley lose. Bayley completely get mad. I'm telling you. They're gonna try and take that belt off of Sasha, and I'm pretty sure Bayley's gonna pull out a fake ID that she's allowed to officiate matches to try and convince herself that I'm a legit referee. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. That's the thing. That's the thing. I love Bayley. I love Sasha, but please, just for the love of Christ, just break these two up already. You dropped the ball 2 years ago. You dropped the ball with this rivalry 2 years ago, and I don't want to see these two. Like, these two are like a friggin' magnet. Like, you can't pull them apart no matter what you do. I'm just sick and tired of these two being together. I'm just so goddamn sick of it. These two should have been broken up a long time ago, and I'm getting so goddamn tired of it. I really am. I love these two, but I'm getting to the point where I'm just slightly starting to lose my patience. I'm starting to slightly lose my patience. We need Sasha versus Bayley now. I'm tired of this. On Raw, they're going to reverse the decision. Sasha's not the champion. She's going to be upset. And then they're going to lose the tag team titles. And then the feud begins. And before anyone says, oh, well, we should host a tournament to crown a new Raw Women's Champion, how about no? How about we don't do that? How about we just give the belt back to Asuka? It's the obvious thing to do, and it's the thing that makes sense. Why take the title off of Sasha and then start a tournament? Like, yeah, F you. Yeah, like, F you, Asuka. F you. We're not going to give the belt back to you. We're just going to start a tournament. We'll make you earn it. Clearly the belt's going to go back to Asuka. We're going to get Asuka versus Kairi at SummerSlam. And it's the way it should be. Shayna Baszler doesn't deserve shit. Before anybody tells me it's going to be Asuka and Shayna at SummerSlam, Shayna doesn't deserve shit. How about Shayna starts from the bottom and actually works for it? Stop being, I am Ronda Rousey's best friend, give me a title shot mentality. But yes, this match was great, but the ending I really, really hated. You can love someone, That doesn't mean you have to like the ending. The title is going back to Asuka. End of story. Also another thing. Another thing before I move on to the next match. When I looked up how WWE have ruled the ending, and apparently according to what I found, it says that this match went to an inconclusion. So WWE has ruled the match as a no contest. That's what I read. So they're probably just going to tell Sasha, hey, the match was a no contest. You didn't win. Even though Bayley's going to be like, I counted the 3. I've got a referee license. But whatever. We will find out tomorrow on Raw. We had Drew McIntyre take on Dolph Ziggler for the WWE Championship. The main roster equivalent of Johnny Gargano is Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler names the stipulation. Not gonna lie, it was a pretty smart. Dolph Ziggler was pretty smart here. He makes the match an Extreme Rules match, but the Extreme Rules stipulation only works on Dolph. He says if Drew McIntyre uses any weapons, he's disqualified, or if he gets counted out, or if he's disqualified, he also loses the title. Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the old Road to WrestleMania of John Cena in SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, when John Cena had this storyline with MVP, and MVP started this better than Utopia thing, and he had some rules saying that MVP is allowed outside, he's allowed to use weapons, he can't get counted out. You know, he can do whatever he wants, but John Cena, you know, he gets counted out, he gets rope breaks, he gets disqualified. You know, it reminded me of that. It reminded me of that from SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. That's what it reminded me of. So yeah. Drew McIntyre wins with a Claymore. Did anybody think Dolph Ziggler was gonna win? Apparently everybody. Apparently The Rock did. Apparently Dwayne The Rock Johnson believed that Dolph Ziggler was gonna win, and because Dwayne made that tweet, everybody believed it. Stupid idiots, seriously. And then our main event was Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. I was sad that Asuka and Sasha wasn't the main event, but the way the ending went, after how the ending went, I'm actually glad it wasn't the main event, because that would have made a lot of people angry. But the main event was Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman in a swamp fight, the Wyatt family swamp fight. This match was a cinematic match. This was very weird. But I will give WWE credit for one thing that was in that match. Well, I wouldn't really call it a match, but you know what I mean. There was one thing that I did like, but I'll get to that. So Braun ended with his big truck, and Bray vanished. Braun was looking around. Braun would get flattened by someone with a shovel, and then he sees himself, the old Braun Strowman, the old Wyatt family Braun with the Wyatt family look. Braun is horrified that he sees his fake version of himself, the old version of himself. The old version of Braun knocks out the real Braun, and then Braun is stuck in a chair with chains. Bray's talking to him, and some guy appears, uses a snake on Braun. Braun, I guess, blacks out again. And then Braun wakes up near a campfire, and I swear, I thought I saw a bunch of ninjas. Braun Strowman starts beating up people in black clothing. Akira Tozawa! You better come get your ninjas! They're in a swamp! Seriously. Were those ninjas? If those were ninjas, why isn't Akira Tozawa watching his ninjas? But after Braun takes care of all those ninjas, well, we think they are, then we hear a mysterious voice. Well, not a mysterious voice, a voice we recognize. It was Sister Abigail. It was Sister Abigail, and the voice sounds very familiar. And then Sister Abigail removes the cloak from her face. And it was Alexa Bliss. You'd see flashbacks of their mixed match challenge days. Alexa is saying stuff like, come with me, Braun. Come home. I know you want to be with me. So, some people are thinking that Alexa has joined Bray Wyatt. I don't think so. I don't think she has. I think this was just some kind of illusion to make Braun... You know what an illusion is? Illusion is something that's not real. Yeah, that's what illusions are. Illusions are something that's not real. Like, you're seeing it in front of you, but it's not real. Like, if you try to touch it, it will just go right through you. That's what an illusion is. So I think it was all an illusion just to trick Braun. Bray and Braun would keep fighting into the swamp, into the swampy water. Braun thinks he's won, but then a man of a claw appears and drags Braun back into the water, and the water turns red, and out came the Fiend. So Bray Wyatt, as far as we know, has won the swamp fight, the Wyatt swamp fight. And it seems like we'll be getting another match with Bray and Braun at SummerSlam. So, yeah. So what was my opinions on this? So what's my opinion? To be perfectly honest, as you guys know, I don't like cinematic matches. I think all of them are really dumb. I think they're all stupid and dumb. I think WWE really needs to put them to rest now. Because I just think they need to put them to rest. They're just stupid. So yeah, is Alexa Bliss joining the Wyatt family? No. I don't think she's joining Bray. I don't think so. But if she is, if she is joining them, how would I feel if she did? I wouldn't really care. Not saying, I think it'd be fine. I wouldn't mind it. But if I was to pick anyone, I definitely would have picked Nikki Cross for that role. Because I think Nikki Cross would be better in that role. Not saying Alexa would be bad in that role. But I'm just saying, I think maybe, maybe Nikki Cross would be best suited because of her character-wise. But Alexa Bliss, I don't think Alexa's joining. But look, that was the only thing I liked about it, that they had Alexa Bliss there. But the only thing I hate about it now is that we're going to be getting a lot of idiots on bloody YouTube making theory videos that it's Alexa Bliss. And also they'll be watching her Twitter. They'll be watching her Twitter every day, checking out for hints. And if they see anything cryptic, they will make a video about it. But yeah, that's Extreme Rules, guys. And can't say I liked the show. The women's matches were definitely the best things about it. Other than that, can't really say I liked the show all that much. I would have definitely said the show was actually good if the Sasha Banks ending wasn't bad. Hit that thumbs up, guys, if you guys enjoyed this review. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I'll see you all next time.